Hare Krishna everyone, good morning. Let's start Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunj Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunj Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Jai Giravardhari Shodanandana Vrajjana Ranjana Shodanandana Vrajjana Ranjana Yamuna Tirvanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Agyantimirnasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadameyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapad Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatamritam Tam Sajim Sadhuvetam Savadutam Krishna Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutadevi Pranmami Hari Priye Vancha Karpathu Brihascha Kirpa Sindhuvevacha Padidana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavbhyo Namo 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 Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasdi Go Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukham Groti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Garim Yat Kirpatam Vande Shri Gurundin Taranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeshram Hari Om Tassat Narayan Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Sasvit Vyasam Tato Jamaduriyat Nashta Prashabdureshu Nityabhava-Sevaya Bhagavad Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtiki. Okay, Hare Krishna everyone. So, chapter 2, canto 2. Last time, let's see what we were discussing. So last time we said that we talked about devotional service is best, is happily performed, and it even destroys the seeds of sin. Not only does it purify you, takes away your sins, but it also destroys the seeds of sin, which means there is no future possibility of you committing the sins, but that is the way it should be. It's not guaranteed with people, because the Maya is very strong. We're saying that Maya can, grasp anyone, and we can commit sins, but the tendency, the tendency that was there inside to commit those sins is destroyed, is burnt to ashes. But we still have to be careful, right? It's not that now we're doing devotion service, now we don't have to fear anything. Prabhupada said you must fear Maya, because it can still attack you, but you don't have those cravings. In other words, the cravings to do what, the cravings that you had before, you sort of become immune to them. But there's still, we are, there's, Prabhupada says that there's still accidents on royal roads. So you might be on a royal road to Krishna consciousness or to Golova Vrindavan, but accidents can still happen. So be very careful. Although Krishna consciousness give you leverage, gives, supports you, but you have to do your bit as well. Like using a sat nav. Sat nav tells you you'll get to this place by this route in this much time, and then it can sort of take you the wrong way as well. So you have to use your own intelligence. You can't just relying on sat nav alone. You have to endeavor. You do use your own endeavors. You must have some idea of where you are going and which direction you're supposed to be heading. Sometimes sat navs can let you down, can take you the wrong way. People have ended up on railway tracks when they're not supposed to be even there. And so spiritual intelligence, our intelligence is also required. Whatever you're following a process, don't rely completely on the process. Use your own intelligence as well, according to time, place, and circumstance. You have to be mindful of what you're doing and which way you're heading. Are you heading in the right direction? So like that. And we're also talking about love for Krishna, which turns to lust by the touch of the material energy. So lust is basically originally the love that we have for Krishna. So everything is there inside us, love for Krishna, the attraction for Krishna, our relationship with Krishna is all there, but we've forgotten it. But it's there, but it's been covered over by material energy. And that's what we're trying to remove, the contamination of this energy. So we can remember our original position with Krishna, and by doing devotion service you can know Krishna. So that was the previous verses. Okay, so we're verse 13. Ekaikasho agni dhyan vayet padadi yavadishtitam gata bharataha jitam sthanam apo dariyet param shuddhayati dhir yatha. So ekeshaha, one to one or one after another, angani, limbs, diha, by attention, anubhavayet, meditate upon, pad adi, legs, yavat, until, hasitam, smiling, gada britha, the personality of Godhead, jitam, gradually controlling the mind, sthanam, place, apohaya, living, dharayet, meditate upon, param, higher and higher, shuddhyati, purified, dihi, intelligence, yatha, as much as. So the process of meditation should begin from the lotus feet of the Lord and progress to his smiling face. The meditation should be concentrated upon the lotus feet, then the calves, then the thighs, and in this way higher and higher. The more the mind becomes fixed upon the different parts of the limb, one after another, the more the intelligence becomes purified. So the process of meditation recommended in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is not to fix one's attention on something impersonal or void. The meditation should concentrate on the person of the Supreme Godhead, either in his Virat Roop, the gigantic universal form, or in his Satchitananda Vigraha. So that's the two contrasts, two differences, as described in the scriptures. There are authorized descriptions of Vishnu forms, and there are authorized representations of deities in the temples. Thus one can practice meditating upon the deity, concentrating his mind on the lotus feet of the Lord, and gradually rising higher and higher up to his smiling face. So, if you remember correctly, last time we were talking about that canto 1 and canto 2 are the feet of the Lord, and you always start with the feet of the Lord. You don't work your way down, you work your way up to the face of the Lord. According to the Bhagavad school, the Lord's Ras dancing is the smiling face of the Lord. Since it is recommended in this verse that one should gradually progress from the lotus feet up to the smiling face, we shall not jump at once to understand the Lord's pastimes in the Ras dance. So that's the reason that comparison is made. It is better to practice concentrating our attention by offering flowers and tulsi to the lotus feet of the Lord. In this way, we gradually become purified by the archana process. We dress the Lord, bathe him, and all these transcendental activities help us purify our existence. When we reach the higher standard of purification, if we see the smiling face of the Lord or hear the Ras dance pastimes of the Lord, then we can relish his activities. In the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, therefore, the Ras dance pastimes are delineated in the 10th canto. So in the chapters 29 to 34, the more one concentrates on the transcendental form of the Lord, either on the lotus feet, the calves, the thighs, or the chest, the more one becomes purified. In this verse, it is clearly stated, the more the intelligence becomes purified, which means the more one becomes detached from sense gratification. Our intelligence in the present conditioned state of life is impure due to being engaged in sense gratification. The result of meditation on the transcendental form of the Lord will be manifested by one's detachment from sense gratification. Therefore, the ultimate purpose of meditation is purification of one's intelligence. And by reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we're doing the same thing. We are purifying ourselves from canto 1 onwards. We are purifying. But as we were discussing last week, doesn't mean that you just stick to that, because the further chapters are also purifying. It's mentioned here that as you read, the further chapters, they are all, we work our way up to canto 10, and each, before that, each one is purifying you so you can appreciate canto 10, right? So it's all purifying, and then once you finish Bhagavatam, you can start again, and it's like you polish something, and then you can polish it again, and then you can polish it again. It makes it more and more shiny. Whatever we're doing, some work we're doing, we're writing something, we do first draft, second draft, third draft, it just gets better and better. You're polishing some metal, you keep, give it 1 shine, 2 shine, 3 shine, it gets shinier and shinier. So you just keep purifying more and more. And because you went through the process, you removed many layers, right, of your contamination. And when you restart again, you'll be reading with a different consciousness from a different level altogether. And once you finish that, then you read again. Then you're reading from a different consciousness, from a different level of consciousness. Either whether it's Bhagavad-Gita or Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita, You're reading from, every time you're reading from a different consciousness. The layers get removed. We might not even realize it, but the layers are being removed. Those who are too engrossed in sense gratification cannot be allowed to participate in Archana or to touch the transform of the Radha Krishna or Vishnu deities. For them, it is better to meditate upon the gigantic Virat Rup of the Lord, as recommended in the next verse. So, everybody is qualified to worship Radha Krishna, but maybe not necessarily, in the same way, due to the contamination of, or the lack of consciousness, that you may commit offenses, right? So like that. So people who are very neophyte, who don't understand or don't actually have faith that Radha and Krishna, who they are, or Vishnu, they can start with the gigantic Virat Rup. They want to worship nature, but that's fine as well. It's taking the right direction. It's a slow way to go about it. You're sort of taking the staircase, but that's fine. The impersonalists and the voidists are therefore recommended to meditate upon the universal form of the Lord, whereas the devotees are recommended to meditate on the deity worship in the temple, because the impersonalists and the voidists are not sufficiently purified in their spiritual activities. Archana is not meant for them. So you can add anything to 13. So we follow the process of Archana for purification. Our intelligence becomes purified and we will be less attached to sense gratification. That's the reason. And plus we'll get a better understanding of what we are reading. We appreciate the Supreme Personality Godhead more. Yava na jayet parave asmin Vishveshvar Drishtari Bhakti Yoga Tavasthaviha Purushasya Rupam Kriya Vasane Priyatha Samareta. So Yavat, as long as Na doesn't Jayet develop our transcendental avare mundane asmin in this form of Vishv Ishvara, the Lord of all worlds, Drishtari unto the Siya, Bhakti Yoga, devotion service, Tavat, so long, Stavyaha, the gross materialist, Purushasya, of the Virat Purush, Rupam, universal form, Kriya, Avasane, at the end of one's prescribed duties, Prayataha, with proper attention, Smarita, one should remember. So unless the gross materialist develops a sense of loving service unto the Supreme Lord, the seer of both the transcendental and material worlds, he should remember or meditate upon the universal form of the Lord at the end of his prescribed duties. So the Supreme Lord is the seer of all worlds, both material and transcendental. In other words, the Supreme Lord is the ultimate beneficiary and enjoyer of all worlds, as comes from in the Bhagavad-Gita 5.29. The spiritual world is the manifestation of his internal potency, and the material world is a manifestation of his external potency. So the all energies of the Lord, they're just internal energy, external energy. The living entities are also his marginal potency, and by their own choice they can live in either the transcendental or material worlds. The material world is not a fit place for living entities because they are spiritually one with the Lord, and in the material world the living entities become conditioned by the laws of the material nature of the material world. The Lord wants all living entities who are his parts and parcels to live with him in the transcendental world, and for enlightening conditioned souls in the material world. All the Vedas and the real scriptures are there. So the guidebooks are there. Expressly expressly to recall conditioned souls back home, back to Godhead. Unfortunately, the conditioned living entities, all the suffering continually, the threefold miseries of conditioned life, are not very serious about going back to Godhead. This is a problem. It is due to their misguided way of living, complicated by sins and virtues. Some of them who are virtuous by deeds begin to re-establish the lost relation with the Lord, but they are unable to understand the personal feature of the Lord. The real purpose of life is to make contact with the Lord and be engaged in His service. That is the natural position of living entities. But those who are impersonalists and are unable to render any loving service to the Lord have been advised to meditate upon His impersonal feature, the Virat Roop or universal form. So some way or other, one must try to re-establish one's forgotten relation with the Lord if one at all desires to gain real happiness in life and to reclaim his natural unfettered condition. For the less intelligent beginners, meditation on the impersonal feature, the Virat Roop or universal form of the Lord, will gradually qualify one to rise to personal contact. One is advised herewith to meditate upon the Virat Roop specified in the previous chapters in order to understand how the different planets, seas, mountains, rivers, birds, beasts, human beings, demigods, and all that we can conceive are but different parts and limbs of the Lord's Virat Roop form. This sort of thinking is also a type of meditation on the absolute truth, and as soon as such meditation begins, one develops one's godly qualities. In the whole world appears to be a happy and peaceful residence for all the people of the world. Without such meditation on God, either personal or impersonal, all good qualities of human being become covered with misconceptions regarding his constitutional position, and without such advanced knowledge, the whole world becomes a hell for the human being. So, Srila Prabhupada is saying, do something, right? Don't just leave it to your speculations and sense gratification. Do something at the highest level or the lowest level, but do something. It's like in a school, you see, have like some subjects used to have like 5 sets. Could be in set 1 or set 5, according to your understanding, the intelligence that you applied. Some people will be in set 5, and others very smart ones will be in set 1. So Srila Prabhupada is saying that at least be in some set. Don't be just enjoying your senses and waste this human life. At least be in some category that is leading you in the right direction. Even if it's the impersonal feature, the Virat Roop, or whichever, just go with it. Whichever that you find your faith, it lies in. What makes you, makes you feel good, that you're happy to follow this, and then just do it. That's fine. Just go in the right direction. That's the main thing. So due to association, due to sense gratification, due to propaganda, the living entity stays back in the material world. Even by meditating on the Virat Roop, one can get godly qualities. So even in set 5, you learn something, right? You'll come out with some kind of qualification. So like that, even by worshipping, meditating on the Virat Roop, you'll get something. You get some godly qualities, because it's God's. It's still God's energy, and you will benefit from it. But the thing is, in the Bhagavad-Gita 1866 verse 86, Krishna says that I have talked about this worship and that worship. I've talked about Virat Roop worship. I've talked about meditation, or about the Gyanis. I've discussed all that. But end of the day, best thing to do is just to surrender unto me. Forget all the other religions and all the practices. Just surrender to me, the two-arm form, holding a flute. Just surrender to me. That's what you need to do. He'll tell you, because people are doing these things, right? So Krishna has to mention it, so that there are these people, that people, but the best thing for you is really, Arjuna, surrender to me, and I'll get you back to Godhead. 15. Okay. Stiram sukham chasanam astito yatir yada jihasur imam angalokam kale chadeshi chamano nasajyet prananan nihichan manasajitasu. Stiram, without being disturbed, sukham, comfortable, cha, also, asanam, sitting accommodation, astitha, being situated, yatihi, the sage, yada, whenever, jihasuhu, desires to give up, imam, this, ang, O king, lokam, this body, kale, in time, cha, and deshe, in a proper place, cha, also, manha, hit the mind, na, not, sajayat, may not be perplexed, pranan, the senses, nihchit, must control, mansa, by the mind, jit asu, conquering the life air. O king, whenever the yogi desires to leave this planet of human beings, he should not be perplexed about the proper time or place, but should comfortably sit without being disturbed, and regulating the life air should control the senses by the mind. So in the Bhagavad-Gita 8.14, it is clearly stated that a person who is totally engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord and who constantly remembers Him at every step easily obtains the mercy of the Lord by entering into His personal contact. Such devotees do not need to seek an opportune moment to leave the present body, but those who are mixed devotees, alloyed with fruitive action or empirical philosophical speculation, require an opportune moment for quitting this body. For them, the opportune moments are stated in Bhagavad-Gita 8.23-26, but these opportune moments are not as important as one's being successful yogi who is able to quit his body as he likes. Such a yogi must be competent to control his senses by the mind. The mind is easily conquered simply by engaging it at the lotus feet of the Lord. Gradually, by such service, all the senses become automatically engaged in service of the Lord. That is the way of merging into the Supreme Absolute. So, chapter 8 is attaining the Supreme. And the Lord said that, well, as we know, that it's mentioned that if you can remember Krishna at your last moments, then that's the position you'll get. So the yogi is trying to find the right time and right where the sun is and all this and that to leave their body. But it's mentioned by the Lord that if you're a devotee, then you don't have to worry. All moments are auspicious for you. You don't have to worry whether the moon is waning or waxing or anything like that. Just whenever it's time for you to leave your body, you'll be successful. You'll be a successful yogi. A bhakti yogi will always be a successful yogi. So says that for a devotee it is easy. But what does it mean to be a devotee? Because a devotee is a very elevated position, totally dedicated in the transcendental service of the Lord. Not a couple of hours a day. We should be in contact with Krishna 24 hours a day. But how can we be in contact with Krishna 24 hours a day? I'm sure we're all chanting our rounds in the morning, say an hour, 2 hours. How much are we in contact with Krishna? Not really. Mind is somewhere else thinking of other things. We can't we can't be in contact with Krishna even when we are chanting. That's the exclusive time we're giving to Krishna. Then how can we say that we are in contact with Krishna 24 hours a day, right? So we have to find other ways, because mind will not allow us to think about Krishna 24 hours a day. Mind doesn't allow us to think about Krishna for 24 seconds. It just flies off, right? So we have to find other ways. So, when whatever we do, whatever we eat, whatever, etc., Krishna says, do it for me. So Krishna has given you processes that we can think of him somewhere or other. So we can try and listen to class, and like I said, we're chanting and we're trying to bring the mind back. We can hear something, and we're doing deity service. So by application, we apply ourselves throughout the day. The Brahmins, they do Gayatri 3 times a day, so I think, it's nearly time for my Krishna Gayatri. I have to do that in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. So one way or the other, you bring your mind to Krishna, by processes, because by itself, the mind does not stay put in Krishna thinking. And the other way you can always think of Krishna is by following his instructions, right? Krishna says he comes to establish dharma. So in our dealings throughout the day, we should be following dharma. If you're following dharma in your dealings through the day, then that means you are remembering Krishna, because you are following his instructions. He is absolute. Even his instructions are, if you're always conscious of dharma, then you're conscious of Krishna, right? So always stay in the mode of goodness much as possible, and follow dharma. Don't cheat people, don't lie, don't gossip, don't cause offenses. Always follow dharma, be truthful. So like that, then you already think, Krishna. Thinking of Krishna does not mean that, you're constantly concentrating, meditating on Krishna, and then you're not doing your duty or any work. His mind doesn't stay anyway. You have to bring it back even when you're chanting. But follow Krishna's instructions at least. And then, like I said, you also have all the processes that you have to do in the day. If you're at home, you're going to cook for Krishna, say, what shall I cook for him? So automatically your mind is thinking of Krishna. So you have to find ways to think of Krishna. So I forgot where I was now. So such devotee don't need to us. We've done all that. From them, the opportune moments are stated in Bhagavad-Gita, yes. But these opportune moments are not as important as one being a successful yogi. So I think we read all that. And so it's about engaging the mind at the lotus feet of Krishna, not the yogic process. We are also merging with the Lord, but not like the Mayavadis or impersonalists. We just merge by engaging our mind and senses in the service of the Lord. My own feelings are that we are able to convince our body to serve the energetic. We can convince ourselves that our energy is given by the energetic, and any disposable energy and discretionary energy that we have after fulfilling our daily tasks, our duties, should be in the service of Krishna, whether it's by going to temple, whether it's doing kirtan, listening to a class, or doing deity worship. That your energy should be utilized in that way, because your energy belongs to Krishna, right? He is the energetic and he gives the energy. You can convince your mind to do that. You can convince your body to do that, and you do it. But convincing your mind, intelligence and ego, which means the subtle body, seems to be the hardest part to do, and I struggle from that. This is why I'm declaring that we can convince our gross body to serve Krishna, but convincing the subtle body is more difficult.
To serve sincerely.
This is what Krishna says twice. Man mana bhav mad bhakto, give me your mind. It's the mind that is hard to control. To bring it to Krishna is very, very difficult. Man bana bhava, this is what Krishna wants. He wants our mind. And just applying his subtle body, because we have to serve him with gross body and subtle body, not just gross body. He wants us to be present, not just physically, but mentally as well. When we're doing deity service in the morning, mind is somewhere else. Doing our, deep, mind is on somewhere else. He wants you to be present. When you're singing, we can't remember, did I already done that, verse or not, So, yeah, it is very difficult, but we have to endeavor. Krishna is not expecting perfection from us. He's expecting us to make a sincere effort, right? We'll never be perfect because we're not. We have defects, right? We have imperfect senses. We commit mistakes. We go into illusion, and we have a cheating propensity. We have all these. We are born with these defects. Rather, as soon as we come in contact material energy, we have these defects. So Krishna is not expecting us to be, perfect or, without these defects, because they are inbuilt. But he wants us to make a sincere effort. That's what he's looking for, our sincere effort. He doesn't see the defective side of us. He's the brilliant sun, right? The sun doesn't recognize darkness. The sun has never seen darkness. Because when the sun is there is no darkness. So sun doesn't know what darkness looks like. So he doesn't look at our dark side. He wants to just look at our bright side. What are we doing for him? It's not, what's lacking. He knows what's lacking anyway. But he's not looking at that. He's looking at what we're offering him. So that's the important thing. Okay. I think we best stop here. 38 minutes. So yeah, let's stop here at 15. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. So, like to hear from yourselves. Purnikaksh Prabhu, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
Jai.
On to Srila Prabhupada. Again, such a wonderful verses. 3 verses, but has got so much of information in it, Prabhuji, again. And elevation is always a gradual process. We cannot straight away jump to the perfection anyhow. We have to work on it to achieve something. And especially in devotional service, we just have to work, but actually it's only achievable by the mercy of Krishna and Guru. And we may think that how actually Guru can help us in achieving Krishna. But when you actually serve the Guru with faith and following his instructions, then Guru can connect you to Krishna. And Krishna will not accept unless we are connected to Guru and serve the Guru, follow his instructions also sincerely. So as we follow our whole process, so we are going from bottom to top approach, not to top to bottom approach anyhow, in our discipline succession as well, where we are worshipping, we are seeking the guidance of mentors, then senior devotees, and our spiritual master is there. So and in the lineage, spiritual master to his spiritual master, we go from bottom to top approach, not to top to bottom approach. So in the same way, when you are worshipping Krishna, start from lotus feet and gradually go to the face. And without understanding Krishna and Krishna's nature, how can you actually visualize what Krishna's performed all the pastimes in the canto 10? To understand more, first you have to understand Krishna and how devotees worship Krishna. And when you listen about great devotees, how they worship Krishna, then we can connect to Krishna very easily as well. So I think first understand the creation and the devotees, how they worshipped, then understand Krishna is, then we'll understand Krishna with more faith rather than just speculate or thinking something like that. I was reading Canto 10, one of the chapter yesterday, and very nice point that when Krishna was lifting Govardhan hill, all the gopas they are watching, but they did not analyze, they did not start analyzing there that how Krishna is able to do this, um, how is able they're not anything analyzed, but they're just enjoying the pastime what Krishna is doing there. But once the pastime is done, when they go back, then they start analyzing and how Krishna might have done this. But again, they are not speculating that. They thought, okay, we'll go to Nanda Maharaj and ask him, because he is the right person to tell us how Krishna is able to do all these things, because he is among us as a common man, and how he got such kind of skills. So no need to speculate anything. If you go to the right source, then understand things in a right way, we can come to that point of the perfection one day with the mercy of Krishna and Guru. um, we had two wonderful classes, Prabhuji, over the weekend by Braju Haridas Prabhuji, and he explained how bhakti can be made simple, and um, struggle is not a struggle. Actually, we look for happiness, but actually we have to look for auspiciousness. So happiness is momentary, auspiciousness is a long term one. You even don't know when it will come. It will come on its own when it is ripened. Like when bhakti is ripened, auspiciousness will come in our life. Um, and in the evening also, I forgot the title of the class, but again, amazing class by Raju Haridas Prabhuji. Mm, that's all. I mean, when we sincerely, when we are not in a perfect stage, we have to develop that perfection by serving Krishna. Like you can dress the deities, you can offer flowers, you can make garland, and similarly with Guru Maharaj also, we can do similar things. Like we cannot develop that relationship even with Guru Maharaj in immediately, but when we serve his instructions, serve the other devotees also, in that line, in a discipline succession, we can actually understand Guru and serve him better. That's all, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. So, what did Nand Maharaj say? He didn't tell us.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
So, what did Nand Maharaj tell the Gopas?
Yeah, I meant to read next verse, Prabhuji. Sorry.
Okay, so it's a cliffhanger. We have to wait for the
Yeah.
next. Okay, let us know.
Sure, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Kiran Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. As stated, we have to start from the bottom up. This is a gradual process, and sometimes we look for quick gratification for success. We have to work at this process because the way to release the genie from the bottle takes time. And we have to keep polishing and polishing and polishing, because when we keep polishing and the genie is ready to be released, not only will we get 3 wishes, we'll get the entire universe. More than 3 wishes. So the effort now will pay off later on. And the method is being clearly identified. We can't be casual. We have to be serious about this. We can't do it for our own benefit. We have to do it for the service and for the beneficiary of Krishna and Krishna alone. Selfless service with humility. And it is indicated, where are we on this ladder? Doesn't matter. Somewhere is better than nowhere. A start is better than no start. To do something is better than not to do something, because then that becomes a precursor to the stone that will not gather any moss. So that stone will start rolling down the hill and gather wisdom. And that's the purpose, because we've been told that take this seriously, right? And it doesn't matter who you and how you worship, whether it's a Virat Roop or whether it's stone, whether it's a picture, the divine should come and rest in your heart. A successful yogi never takes a holiday. He never takes a break. So Krishna should be in our hearts, in our minds, 24 hours a day, dancing on our lips, dancing and chanting. deity worship, prasadam, the Vedic and Dharmic principles, association with each other, and to convince our body that this is the way forward. The mindset and the paradigm has to be changed. Change our narrative, and the rest will happen and unfold before us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Okay, Vijay Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, I think most of what I was going to say has been said very comprehensively and very clearly by the devotees. But I would say that some points that are stuck in my mind is that like meditation, it purifies our intelligence, but it's a gradual process. And I know for sure that by practical experience, it's so many years and it's still very, very little progress. But it does help you lose sense gratification. Things do become pale that once were very vivid. So that I definitely can say that you do experience that. And also reading the scriptures, Bhagavatam and etc. again and again, I noticed this point that we are reading with a different consciousness or different level. I always thought it was only just forgotten, and I'm just that's why it looks new. But actually, it's not just because we've forgotten; it's because we're sort of maturing a bit more, and so we're taking the understanding a bit more deeply. And also that we have to serve Krishna with the gross body, but also with the subtle. I think we forget that. That is a very good point that you made. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. And even our surrender, like I said, 18.66, our surrender is also the 6 limbs of surrender, and that also involves surrendering our gross body and our subtle body as well. You surrender the mind, intelligence, and ego. Very, very important. So, okay, Pundikaksha Prabhu has shared something. Let's look at that. So, Prabhu says that something I want to share with all, a point from Braj Vihari Prabhu on elements of devotion, presence, be present, bring the mind back, praise, glorify the Lord, gratitude, accept and tolerate, repentance. When paying the gratitude, be very specific. Don't say thank you for everything, but be specific. So you have to know what are you just saying just for the sake of saying, or it is something that you are really appreciating. Second class on Sunday by Braj Bihari Prabhu, how to see Krishna in all living entities. First, see Lord in people around you, and little exercise we did to first pay gratitude to one person who contributed for your growth, and then how that person contributed to others, and third is how can we relate his behavior with scriptures. Yeah, and then you can learn from that as well. When you can connect things to the scriptures, then you can say, right, I also want to follow this because now it's official. Yeah, so thank you so much for sharing, Prabhu. Okay. So, Sunita Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. I just learned from these verses about how to prepare to leave this material world. It seems like that there are 2 methods. One is like for Kanishtas or less advanced people like devotees can meditate on Virat Rupa. And for more advanced devotees, they can do it with a devotional service. And when you meditate on the Lord's form, gradually material desires disappears and you can become more advanced in your bhakti. So meditation can just lead to bhakti. That's what I learned from here. And another thing, like when you mentioned, is very hard to think 24 hours Krishna. But if you try slowly, you can graduate. Like you can think of Krishna like you're starting your day with the chanting, and start with your meditation, and start doing temple room cleaning and thinking of Krishna, cooking for Krishna. And all this way, slowly you can start thinking of Krishna. That's what I learned. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, take some anxiety for Krishna. Be anxious, or just like you show them. She's always anxious for Krishna. I hope he's okay. I hope he's taken his. I'm not saying we think exactly the same way she's thinking. But I'm saying that we think about Krishna in some way or the other. And even when you go shopping, say when you're buying your groceries, what can we offer to the Lord? I think this will be interesting. Or you need some object, like that. So in a way, we can, fill our day with the processes that we do, by putting Krishna in the center. Once you put Krishna in the center, then you're automatically thinking of him. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna, everyone. My pranams to all of you at the start of this wonderful week. So let us first of all of us thank Krishna for this beautiful morning and beautiful week and this beautiful moment that we are sitting together again glorifying Lord, which is all we have to do 24/7 by doing our little activities moment to moment, giving our mind to Krishna. If for 1 minute we think that we are doing, we are controlling, we are the one who is presiding over things, that's where the connection gets cut with Krishna. We worry for everything else in this world, isn't it? We have got so many anxieties, this anxiety, mental anxiety, family anxiety, work anxiety. But where's anxiety for Krishna, who has given us these gross bodies? If it wasn't for Krishna, we wouldn't have gotten these bodies. And if we haven't got these bodies, we have seen we can't meditate on Krishna, worship Krishna. There's 8.4 million species, and among all the species, it's this species of ours which can do the meditation and do something for Krishna. For example, if you've got a cat or a pig or a dog or even a little hamster or a fish around you, you put the lectures, you put the kirtan, you give them the best of the best prasad. They might have it if that's something which they can consume. But will they be able to connect with Krishna? Slowly we say, okay, by taking prasad, one day they will connect. That's not going to happen in any of the species. But the only thing is, if we give them the prasad, if they happen to touch the prasad or the water from Krishna, which we offer him in the night, during the day, 24 hours, that is going to speed up their journey. This is what they say. So when we offer the flowers from our garden or from the shops to Krishna, what happens is that that particular bush or shrub or the plant is definitely going to progress towards Krishna. It's not that straight away it's going to go to Golok Vrindavan. It's not going to happen like that, but it is going to go into the higher paths of the liberation. He'll have a better body, he or she, in whichever species, they will have better body if they are being used to serve Krishna. So when people do the bhakti, it's a Mishra bhakti. What happens? You all know that the percentage of bhakti is less in that bhakti. Mishra means there's so many other ingredient mixed, but the bhakti is very little. For example, just to give you a crude example, you made a paneer sabji, but there are so many other ingredients that paneer is just here and there. That's what Mishra Bhakti is, and that is what everyone is struggling at the moment amongst all of us. Maybe some are struggling less, some are struggling much higher, but everybody's struggling because they have got the same type of minds and the similar physical bodies. In verse number 8.14 in Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna says that who is Nitya Yuktasya? Who is Nitya Yuktasya means one who is who has got the bhakti maximum in their 24 hours. Lord is available to them. Such devotees, they're not seeking an opportune moment, you know. They're not opportunistic that, okay, today is Snan Yatra, today is Rath Yatra, today is, for example, Nirjala Ekadashi or Ekadashi, I'm going to make some special effort today. No. For them, every moment is moment for Krishna. For them, every opportunity is opportunity for Krishna. So this is how we have been sought. Sometimes our mind plays tricks. I don't know about you. Sometimes my mind says, all the devotees all over the, cosmos have offered everything to Krishna. What can I offer to Krishna today, which is going to take his attention? This is how I think I'm trying to train my head now, how to serve Krishna. Not just that, okay, it's time to make an offering. I'll prepare the offering, take to Krishna, do my pranam mantras for my Guru Maharaj, and then for Gaur Nitai, and then for Krishna, my Guru Maharaj, Prabhupada, Krishna, Gaur Nitai and Krishna, and then just quickly, okay, wait for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever time you have set in your house, and then bring the plate back and put it back to the main pot and serve it to the family. No. Krishna wants a little bit of, imagination in our day-to-day offering, day-to-day connection with him. When we are chanting, which is our main austerity for Krishna, because that is exclusive. We don't get anything out of chanting. No rasa, nothing. That is why our minds, they're troubled here and there. That is the time every day we have to, kind of entice our mind, like we have to say to little children, okay, if you do this today, we will do this activity. And how it happens? They do that particular activity so nicely then. Similarly, I think we have to treat our mind, because mind has to cry like a baby to get the attention of Krishna. So we have to treat it like a baby and think of novel ways every day. And I'm sure one of these days we'll find out what our mind actually longs for, what kind of, what kind of lovely words, or what kind of, like they say in Hindi, lad pyar, and what the mothers do. Mothers all understand, to mothers and fathers, of course, they understand what they have to say to their children to get their attention, what kind of actions they have to do. We all know you have to be unconditional like mothers. That's why they say, even when somebody gets very, very old, when they are in pain, what do they say? Hi ma, oh ma. Nobody says hi dad, oh dad. Why? Because mothers, of course, fathers have given all the love. It's fathers who toil day and night. They think they're best how to, provide the best for their families. But the mothers, they get a little bit higher sometimes than father, because even in the middle of the night, or when the mother is very, very tired, a child will come. Maybe even they have grown up, they say, I'm hungry. Mothers will get up. Even they are in pain sometimes, they will get something made up quickly for the child and present to them. So this is how Krishna is present with us all the time. All our relations may let us down in our life, but it's Lord who is always going to be there with us. And this is the kind of connect we have to have with the Lord, by remembering that it's Lord who is going to be there always in all circumstances. What happens is that as living entities, we become the servants of our circumstances. This is the biggest problem. We have forgotten that we are not servants of our life's circumstances, because this life has got a number, it's got a start, it's got a middle, and it's got an end. But the one who has made us, who has devised us, like they say in these languages, in these days of computers, that one who has made us, who we have come from, he is waiting for us, and he wants that connection with us. That it's not just momentary, because we have had connection with him from the time immemorial. There's no start time. We don't know when it all started and when it's going to end. This cosmos is perpetual. It just hibernates for a bit and then it comes into life again. And so our spirit souls. So we have to make that connect with Krishna Satatam. We have to remember him all the time. We have to stop being servant of the material world and the material desires, and we have to make the connect with the Lord. And remember, it is eternal connection. It is never ending. It's a never ending story. We don't know how it started. We don't know how it's going to end. But we have to just hope that it ends up as bhakti yogis in Krishna's lotus feet, serving Krishna. And even if we have been dhyan yogis one of our lifetimes, we don't want to go back. We don't want to look for the opportune moments when to leave our body. Krishna says, don't forget. Don't worry about anything. Just antakale, you have to remember me. But we have to practice it all our lives, all the moments, living moments of our lives. So however, whenever those last moments will come, whoever will be there, we don't know. But Krishna will be there. We are assured by Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. And thank you all for your wonderful inputs. And we will catch up on Wednesday.
Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Jai, thank you.
Hare Krishna.